Hey everyone, I'm doing my book talk today on this book called Proudly Bilingual or Orgullosamente Bilingüe. This book is in Spanish and in English. The English is in blue and the Spanish is in red. The author is Araceli Rodriguez and the illustrator is Alondra Arevalo. This book was published in 2020. So, the theme of this book is about the importance of being bilingual, and essentially that being bilingual is a superpower, and that everybody who is bilingual should be proud of being bilingual and not hide it. The mood is very cheerful, very joyful. The girl feels she's obviously it's called Proudly Bilingual because she's very proud to be bilingual. She's very happy in throughout the book, and you can see, in every page, she's smiling in everything that she does. And she talks about how being bilingual affects her relationship with language. She talks about how being bilingual also affects her. So you can see she's it's very fanciful. She's talking about how really her she's hanging upside down. She's talking about how sometimes she speaks Spanglish, and it also talks about her relationship with her friends and family. And so the the tone of the book is very playful, and is very playful, very amusing, and very cheerful. So one reason why I picked this book is because I really like how it explains being bilingual, and I really feel like it fits in really well with EDU 220 and what we've been learning about culturally relevant books, because it does a great job of explaining to children how the bilingual brain works. Um, it has a whole section that kind of explains how the bilingual brain works, and then it shows these like train lines or these thought lines and how they kind of intersect. So, like I said, it shows English in blue and Spanish in red, and then it shows kind of how they intersect into this like purple area of being bilingual. So you don't just speak one language. So I really think, it's the visuals of it do a really good job of explaining to children what does it mean to be bilingual, why is being bilingual special, and creates a very positive, culturally relevant vibe, which fits in very well with what we're learning in EDU 220. The other reason why I chose this book is because it is not necessarily a book that you would, just be able to find in any bookstore. This is actually from a bilingual bookstore in the city. So it's always just really nice to explore, different bookstores, not just, your Barnes and Nobles, but yeah. So this is actually from a book called Los Amigos Books that's in Chicago. So if you can visit, I highly recommend it. Finally, in terms of possible classroom use, I would say this book is really good for like first through fourth grade, especially if you're a bilingual or a dual language teacher. This was a really great introduction for them, like in the beginning of the year, about how being bilingual is very special, and how it supports them, and just so they can kind of make some text to self connections with their language. Like, for example, there's an area here, where she talks about like all the different words in English and in Spanish for the word pig, so that's like a place where you could make a text to self connection. Or here she talks about how sometimes she doesn't know the word in Spanish, so she'll say it in English. Sometimes she doesn't know the word in English, so she'll say it in Spanish. And sometimes she'll just kind of make up a Spanglish word because she just her brain trying to like figure it out. So this is a really nice place where you could make a text to self connection with students. So again, if you are free to go to Los Amigos bookstore, I highly recommend it. It's a really nice, independently owned bookstore. I don't get paid to say that. I've been there before and I've bought books from there, and it's just really a beautiful place to go find culturally relevant bilingual books. And then and it's an independently owned bookstore. It's not a big chain. And then I also just really recommend this book for your students, especially if you're a dual language teacher or a bilingual teacher.